No, he's about to go through the wall.
Ah!
I dare.
Welcome to
It's
Forever Talking. We talk nothing forever. My name is Ian Moore with my commentating partner and co-host Nicholas. And on today's
but
episode, we're gonna be talking. Dude, I have such a big headache. That was the most unathletic thing I've ever done. And on today's episode, we're gonna be talking about UFC 303 practically being pretty much canceled because Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler is no longer happening. We're going to be talking about Khamzat Chimaev versus Robert Whitaker no longer happening. We're going to be talking about fucking Jake Paul versus Mike Perry now happening. We're going to be talking about uh we could talk about Gervonta Davis, but there's nothing to really talk about there because he knocked the fuck out of somebody on Saturday night.
yeah,
I'm out of breath. I don't have anything to
but
drink.
I don't know, dude. When you did that little somersault, like you know how it mutes when it gets real loud. Sometimes it just muted, so I didn't hear you hit the floor.
Oh, I wonder if it's gonna pop up on camera. We're doing a new thing here, and I apologize to everybody on Zoom. That we're once again on Zoom. That would be the fault of uh my professional career. Um and I was hoping that we would be able. We're not filming on the day we normally film it on. We're filming the day after we normally film it on because yesterday I was just too fucking busy and I could not get to it. And I was hoping that we were going to be able to do it in person today. And once again, plans shifted again because I am way too busy and I don't have the time to set up the camera, take down the camera, take the dog for the walk, get everything that I need to do before soccer and edit the video and this, that, and the third. And plus, I wanted to use this opportunity to test out the new system that we're going to be using on Zoom, where instead of it's both of our cameras side by side,
hmm
it switches to the face of whoever is talking at that present time.
So you're on it 90% of the time.
Not 90% of the time, about 92
95.
or 93% of the time.
I'm gonna time it.
You should.
I'm gonna
Um,
get two stopwatches.
now the problem is the way I see it is that you take up the majority of the screen and my face is in the corner. It doesn't switch back and forth to whoever's talking on like real time. So I'm hoping that this actually does work. And it's not like filming what I see in front of me right now because if it
Yeah, I
does,
hope not. I
yeah,
don't. I don't want to be the big picture.
yeah, it's gonna be really fucking lame if it's like me in the like just in the upper left right corner and then your entire face for 40 minutes.
You'll have to put an arrow and a little caption. Don't forget me.
Yeah, don't forget Ebot here. Which is funny
Eva.
because that's gonna be like because in the last video, I switched it back like it was like how I wanted it in the beginning, or I
Yeah.
know that's how it would look, and then I switched it like a minute into the
Yeah, I remember.
and I put the text. I was like, am now realizing I liked it the way that it was before. So we're gonna try and test this out, and hopefully it looks cool. And if it doesn't, it's your fault.
Are you talking to me or the fans,
You,
the viewers?
you. It's your fault.
Okay,
It'll be
I
your.
heard viewers.
It'll be no. That's not what I said.
I heard you.
Anyways, we're gonna get into our next segment of the show. Does it stink? Um, where I I can't think of any sentence that I could put in here that doesn't get me in trouble. Um, I had a good joke,
Or
but don't worry about it. It's fine. It's just, just. It's cool. It's cool, man. Just relax. What would you do today, Nick Walk?
that's none of your business. I can love your face. You're like really.
Okay. Jeez.
Hey, we're focused. We're focused on the video.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, man. I've only known you for like 15-ish years, but cool, whatever.
I wonder how long we have known each other because we've known each other for a while, but
I think it's been about 15 years.
yeah,
Probably been around.
maybe.
I mean, it depend. We'd go back to see how long ago we've been playing soccer, and when we
Yeah,
started playing club soccer. Did you play CYC soccer?
yeah.
Did you play for Queen?
Yeah,
Maybe I knew you at Queen,
yeah, probably.
but I don't think we were on the same team.
No, I don't think so. No,
We
we
also
definitely were.
we also knew each other whenever we were on.
I think it was more
I feel
around
like
like sixth grade.
I feel like we knew each other before.
I knew more of you before you knew of me.
Well,
I,
Nick, I'm famous. Of course, that's the
yeah, I
truth.
know.
You can see my cock and balls on whatever poster you want out there.
Also,
I honestly, like I can remember exactly where I met John the first time. I know where I met Brett and all those guys the first time. You asked me where I met you for the first time. I can't remember. I'm just pretty sure we knew about each other or of each other
a
before we started playing.
yeah, yeah, it's like up there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I got a bellyache. Um. Anyways, let's let's start off with these pullouts, man. Because if you pull out, you're
Which one?
yeah. Um. So for everybody who doesn't know, Robert Whitaker versus Khamzat Chimaev is no longer happening. Jamal Hill versus whoever the fuck he was fighting is no longer happening. And Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler is no longer happening. Nobody really cares about the Jamal Hill one. I mean, obviously, I hope he gets
Yeah,
better.
no one likes him.
Yeah, we're not gonna be talking about
Bro,
that.
I rewatched that fight, and but I think we were so frustrated at the 300 event that we didn't realize how badass that knockout was.
Oh, sick!
he
Called out,
he
called
gets
out
in the
for
nuts. He's like hurt. No, no, I'll take this.
let me let me knock this
Or he
fuck.
hits him with the left.
Yeah. Um, Alex Pereira will not get out of my fucking timeline. I
No,
love I love him to death,
I
but
did too.
and I think he's a total badass for taking these fights. Um, but I want to see like the UFC is not Alex Pereira land. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of took Volk's place. When Volk used to just step up every 2 months.
and, and to my knowledge, I mean, to my knowledge, when it comes to like, so the whole timeline of the McGregor thing was about a week and a half ago. The press conference was canceled. Then it started being reported that the fight may be off, and everybody's like, "What the fuck's going on with this?" And it was being reported that the UFC was pulling out feelers for McGregor. Hey, if you want to, can you come in? Can you do this? Yeah, what was that looking out? And then all of a sudden, it was flipped like that. And then it started looking like that McGregor and Michael Chandler was going to be on. Michael Chandler said it was going to be on. The UFC said it was going to be on. They continued to promote the fight. Um, and then it was good for a couple days. And then immediately again, it flipped around like that. And it was no longer good. It started being reported that they started reaching out for feelers again. It sounded like it was going to be out again. Um, Now, the main source, a bunch of reporters reporting on it, but if you haven't fucking figured it out by now, go to Ariel Helwani. If you don't know, he is
If you
the
don't know who he is, and you definitely don't know who we are.
yeah if you yeah I can't help you. Oh, Ariel Helwani. But he was saying that the UFC he was basically reporting all this in real time. He is the only source out there that I trust 100%. With that being said, he also did not say at the time what was going on with McGregor or what was going on with the issue in its entirety. He was hinting at it, but you can't really like leak what the problem is. Um, and then we found out that Conor McGregor has an injury, and Michael Chandler opted out of fighting anybody else. He only wants to fight Conor McGregor, um, which at this point you've waited so fucking long, might as well. Um,
Yeah,
and we're being told that potentially they're going to be looking at another date, hopefully hypothetically around August. But they also just announced the Adesanya versus Duplessis
yeah,
beginning of August for UFC 305, I believe. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to take place at the end of August. I think that maybe you're looking at September and October, depending on what the injury is. All we know is that Conor McGregor, from what Dana White said and what Conor's team said, is that Conor has an injury. We don't know what that injury is. We do not know the significance of the injury. Well, we were told by Ariel that the injury that Conor has is not massive or major. If it was an issue where his leg was once again fractured or he suffered something along those lines, Conor should retire. But we're being told that that's not the case. It is not a significant injury. Now, if you ask Chael Sonnen what's going on with this event, who had an interview with DC, I believe
Yeah.
yesterday, did you see this?
No, but I think maybe you go.
He said that Connor um is not hurt. It's all bullshit. Connor's in rehab. Um
No, I didn't see that.
and he is sitting on there with DC and he goes, I don't know if we're making TV or why we're actually entertaining any of this. Connor does not have an injury. Conor McGregor is in rehab. Um okay, so two things. When it comes to like this fight being canceled and pulled out and them having to redo the whole fight, I can't blame Michael Chandler. None of I'm not going to blame Michael Chandler for the pullout. I'm not going to blame Michael Chandler for not taking another fight besides
Yeah,
you waited this long. If there's hope that this fight's going to happen, you might as well take it. Um, as it comes to Conor McGregor pulling out of this fight, if it was an actual injury, um, it's part of the sport. Injuries happen. It is what it is. And I actually give Connor. I don't. I'm on record saying that I'm not exactly a big fan of Connor as a person. I am excited for this
yeah.
fight, and I'm excited to see him come back. But with that being said, um, if there's anything I respect out of Conor McGregor, it's his professionalism to never miss weight and never pull out of a fight in his life. Whenever he went to go fight Dustin, there was a bunch of footage and videos and photos
Yeah.
that were released that they knew about the broken leg before he went into it. That takes balls. Um,
Yeah, it
so
does.
whatever this injury was, um, I don't know the extent. I don't know what it was, but you would think that would have to be pretty something serious for him to actually pull out of this fight, or maybe he just didn't want to risk it, or whatever it is. I don't know. Now, with Chael Sonnen, who is also a very respected figure in the MMA scene and the fight scene, he is a reporter nowadays. He has a lot of inside scoops. Maybe he is wrong about this, but he was pretty confident in saying, and you have to be confident when coming out and saying this, that McGregor is in rehab.
He's also done some crazy stuff though.
He does in the past, but
Like saying Floyd Mayweather's only made like 180 million. I've heard him say that. Like overall,
I
he
have
said some crazy stuff.
I've heard him say that too. Um,
Like,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Did you see he fought Anderson Silva over the weekend?
that was recent. I actually saw the video, but I thought it was just like of a back fin fight he did.
No, they did like a big boxing exhibition in Brazil.
Did he
Uh,
win?
it was an exhibit. They didn't like fight. They just kind of did
Wow.
for a little bit and
I actually saw that video on like YouTube, and I was like, huh. I didn't actually look at the date, but
I found out about it an hour before it happened. And
I,
they tweeted about it. Like Ariel tweeted or somebody tweeted Chael and Silva are expected to make the ring walk here within the next hour. And I was like, what?
yeah, I was mad. I didn't know Tank fought this weekend. I would have watched him too.
Yeah, I watched I that fight happened. So Chael and Silva happened about 30 minutes before um Tank fought. And Tank was getting worked for the first 5 or 6 rounds, and I was like, "Whoa!"
He he always does. That's his tactic.
Yeah, and then he came out and fucked this guy
It's
up.
like he's like, all right, I'll plug in the controller.
I'm starting to like Tank a lot more. He told Floyd to go fuck himself. I'm starting to appreciate this.
Yeah, he did.
So is Connor in rehab or is he hurt?
Like, what do I think?
Yeah.
I feel like he's hurt.
Does this fight ever happen?
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's not a lot of confidence, is there?
there's not a lot of confidence in him, but at the same time, I feel like Michael Chandler is smart enough to know like when to give up.
I have to know the injury. If there's an injury, I need to know about it. I,
Yeah,
and there's part obviously Connor's team doesn't want to leak what the injury is because that could be targeted. Maybe it's a
yeah.
concussion, maybe it's a broken wrist, but like the reports are that the injury is not significant enough to push the fight back long term, and that you're looking at about a 2 or 3 month delay. So probably UFC 306.
Is that the Sphere? Because that's how they
Oh,
didn't
that's
want to put.
yeah. So they're not. That's not happening.
Yeah, I saw that like August and September was not. So more like October.
I mean, it's fucking June, July, August, September. I mean, I got like it's only 4 months. I guess it's like not that big of
I,
a deal, but
yeah, honestly, it felt like 6 months. October seems 6 months away, but only fourth.
it's a long. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a long time away. And then you have to put in the fact that Mike Tyson versus Jake is in fucking November. Um, that man, that's
yeah.
now that feels far away. But October feels far away too. I mean,
Hey, but it will go fast because football will start up in August. So,
yeah, I need to
well,
know the significance of the injury. I need to know what's going on here. I need to know, you know, they don't have a main event for the Sphere yet, to my knowledge.
yeah. But I feel like it's gonna be like O'Malley or
Uh,
Taporia.
I feel like it's going to be O'Malley versus Ela. Um,
Bro, if they do that, that's sick.
or do they have a main event?
I don't think so.
Um,
Yeah, I don't think so because
because they haven't even come up with a UFC main event for UFC 306, also known as
the
Ela Taporia
Sphere.
versus Max Holloway.
Oh, that's gonna be sick.
I don't think that's true because I feel like that would have been a
I don't think it's official, but I think that's what it probably will be.
yeah, I don't think it's official either. Ela versus Holloway is cool. I'd also like Ela versus O'Malley. But if Dana White now listen, if Connor gets cleared, we did this at UFC 300. We should not it's very important we don't fuck this up again. If Connor is healthy and cleared, the Sphere fight is fucking McGregor and Michael Chandler. Let's not fuck this up a second time. I don't
For some
care.
reason,
I put them all on the same card. I don't care if Ela's around. I don't care if Max Holloway's around. I don't fucking care if O'Malley's around. Fuck them.
so what card do you say is the main event? The McGregor?
Oh my God, night and day. It's not even close.
Okay.
It's not even close. This fight should have main evented 300. How that didn't happen is ridiculous. They were both healthy and ready to go. We fucked that up drastically. If this guy isn't in rehab or isn't have doesn't have an injury that is significant enough to keep him out for a long period of time, it should be Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler in the Sphere, Vegas, UFC 306. Now, with that being said, if there's another pullout, McGregor gets hurt again or whatever it is, cancel McGregor for fighting
Yeah.
ever again, and
And
just do Ela versus whatever push
Holloway.
yeah, push the co-main event up to the main event. Ela versus Holloway for the co-main event. Well,
That they probably would never do that 'cause that's such a main event fight.
Ela versus Holloway, UFC 307. O'Malley versus Bilal Muhammad as the co-main event in the Sphere, UFC
You
306.
say O'Malley or Bilal?
Or O'Malley versus
Oh yeah, I know who you're
um
talking about.
um
Frick the machine. I don't know if I can't think of his name.
um
I'm so rusty with this. 'Cause I've been watching a ton of basketball and hockey. I haven't paid attention.
Marab. Hold on.
Yeah.
Bilal so get catch fight
Oh,
Edwards.
when,
Um
when's the, when's that fight? I forgot.
uh
So did you.
next month, I think. Uh,
Not such a good fight.
Great. Um, we're also being told that we were told that um John Jones is back and cleared, good to go for the fall.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
guy who lost to Dominic Reyes.
yeah, that guy. We gotta check Stipe out of the old folks home though before he can make this fight. But he's got to be back. They got a strict 24-hour notice date. So, we can't announce it. We gotta announce the fight the night of. Get him out of the old folks home. No offense, Stipe. Love you. You're the greatest ever. But what are we doing here? Again, we're not gonna talk about this, but you understand.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I wouldn't mind? I'd be okay
What?
with this. Now, like the fight would be fucking a stomping. It would be a murder. You know what I wouldn't mind? Pereira knocks out Yuri at 303, UFC 307 in UFC 307 and 308 in October or November. John Jones comes back and defends his heavyweight championship against Alex
Sierra.
Pereira.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I don't love the
But
fight necessarily because I think it's a dick stomping.
what about Tom Aspinall?
Well, Aspinall's fighting in July.
Yeah, but his fights only go like 3 seconds.
True, but hypothetically, if it doesn't,
Oh, okay.
you know, I think like Aspinall in July. Then you got August. Yeah, I don't think it's enough for turnaround time because you got to start promoting John before that.
I think there is. I think there's enough. The only problem is Islam. I know Islam likes to fight in October.
Fuck him. Congratulations, Islam. You're fighting in December.
Can't man, Ramadan.
Enjoy. When's Ramadan?
I don't know. I have no idea. I just know.
I thought Ramadan was in. Is Ramadan once a year or twice a year? I think it's once a year, right?
Like I said, I have no idea.
Uh,
I think it's more in the spring though.
I think it's in the spring going into the summer because I remember
Yeah,
whenever we had to get ready for soccer tryouts and we had to go through training. It was a lot harder for a lot of people who had to go
yeah,
because
and also 300. You remember that was the big thing.
yeah, and 300 was in April. Yeah, you're right. That timeline matches up. So I don't know. You got a lot of fights that you got to fit in here. You got to start doing main events and co-main events. Um,
Yeah,
and just kind of do what it is. Um, if it was up to me, I would have said I would have been like, okay, Conor McGregor's out of UFC 303. I probably would have tried to book Aspinall or try to ask Aspinall if he would have moved up. But I also see that I
who's he fighting?
I can't remember some heavyweight.
Is it gone?
No,
You know, okay.
surely not. That'd be
Striker, I can't think of anyone else.
that'd be cool. It's because the heavyweight division's dead.
Yeah, but who would he risk? Because he's basically the champion.
Can't remember. I
No,
don't I can't remember the fight. I just know he's fighting. I just remember he's the co-main event of the Edwards card. I can't blame the UFC for because not only did they make the main event really cool, they made the co-main event really cool too. Because it's Ortega versus uh
dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually do know who you're talking about. I can't remember though.
I can't remember his name, but it's a great fight. So like they came up with really good fights for this, despite the giant pain in the ass to do so. At the end of the day, like a lot of people don't have the balls to risk themselves like this. But Alex Pereira loves it. He wanted to do this.
Yeah, I'm just scared he's gonna lose one of these times because the way he fights.
Yeah, I think that would
Because
suck.
it's not like he fights like Islam or like Khabib where they can take you to the ground. He's always boxing and one hit.
You would think somebody else would try and take this fucking guy to the floor.
But I think he has good defense. But then again, like once we said it, once you get to the upper levels, they lack.
Yeah. I think I don't know, it's very, very cool to me. I think depending on how this fight goes, I think that you should really consider Pereira versus
John Jones, yeah,
John Jones in the fall, depending on how this goes. Because Pereira is stepping in there with a fucking dog.
yeah. The
So
first fight was good too.
yeah, so we'll see. Um
Comes out
Maya pulled out of his fight with Robert Whitaker because he got an illness that put him in the hospital.
food poisoning. But I've heard
Was that it?
that's what I've heard. Yeah, I saw like today. Food poisoning
I
is
haven't
what they were saying.
I haven't heard the issue. I haven't heard the sickness or anything like that. I just heard that he almost fucking died.
He also trains like a maniac.
Yeah. Listen, like injuries and sicknesses and shit happens unless a fighter has like a constant issue with that. I don't blame them.
He
Now
does.
Kamzat,
Yeah, I was gonna say he pulls out a lot.
yeah, running out of time. Fucking hell, we got 10 minutes left. Unbelievable. Um, fucking Zoom, cocksucking motherfucker. And no, I'm not buying. I might have to, but I'm not going to now.
Is it
Um,
hard?
was I not? Like with the Kamzat thing, I was about to say like you can't blame people unless it's a constant reoccurrence. It's kind of a constant reoccurrence with him.
Or just not making weight. I
Yeah,
think
you know what? I mean, when was the last time he fought? Usman?
yeah, so that was like October, September. I think it was like last October.
It was like 8 months.
Yeah.
Because I remember when he fought, that was like I was at the start of my diet. I lost fucking 50 pounds since the last time this guy fought.
Yeah, and then the time before that, I think it was like a whole year because that's when he fought Nate Diaz.
Is it people don't? Well, he didn't fight Nate Diaz.
Oh yeah, Tony. Who did he fight? Tom. What is his name? Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I fought Kevin Holland because this fucking guy couldn't make weight.
That was a weird thing though.
Um, I don't really know a lot of the work of the guy that Whitaker's fighting.
Hey, this card low key this weekend is pretty good. I forgot what it was, but yeah,
Yeah, it's. I mean, the Whitaker and Chimaev fight was enough to make me watch it. Uh,
yeah,
but now
yeah.
that's not a thing, and the guy that Whitaker's fighting, I don't know. So now it's
I'm all right with it because it kind of makes Sean Strickland the number one contender now
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I mean,
Even if Whitaker wins.
yeah. I think it frees up some space. Um, I think that you're just gonna do Duplessis and Izzy, and then whoever wins that, you're just gonna throw Strickland in there. Um, and then Whitaker
Yeah,
can win. They'll fight the winner of that, and Izzy can go do
yeah.
whatever else he wants to do. You think Izzy beats? Well, we can talk about it on the day, but I don't know. I don't know if Izzy beats Duplessis or not. I was just saying that as if Izzy does not beat him. Um,
I I feel like he's about to hit that age where fighters just drop off.
yeah, we
But
gotta
he's
see
also,
what we get.
yeah, we gotta see.
Yeah, I mean, because the fucking like the guy who fought Sean Strickland was not who we're used
He
to fight.
he also got rocked in the first round. Like people forget that. Like that fight was close in the first round, and then he got rocked.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And he really never recovered.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm interested. Like it kind of sucks, man, because our fucking like our full fight, our awesome fight summer just died.
It really did.
Um, but now we have at least we have a fight being filled in here.
Yeah.
For July 20th, and that is I was gonna say Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is not fighting. Um,
Jake.
we gotta refresh here. We gotta go out and we gotta come back in because
All right. Yeah.
we got so much
One
time.
last topic.
All right, all right. Give me 1 second.
Got, and we're back from commercial.
And we're back from our quick commercial break. Hopefully that enticed you to go get some more Applebee's. Um, so,
Racist.
huh?
Racist.
Racist.
No,
I thought you said
sorry.
racist. I was like, who's racist?
No, no, you can't be. No, no.
Racist.
I just remember that night.
What was the other thing I said? Fucking uh it was that Top Gun Maverick?
Oh, so I wasn't sitting next to you by that, but it was something about the cock pilot, I think.
Yeah, and the guy called himself Hangman, so I leaned over to Amar and I was like, my flight name is Cockman.
I remember you did it like 80 times right during the movie.
Yeah, I
And
really I
I
fucking
didn't hear it once.
experience. It was hilarious to me.
And
I
I didn't hear it once.
man, when was the last time we went to a movie, dude? It's been a while.
I think Kung Fu Panda was, and I was trying not to fall asleep the whole time.
Yeah, because that movie sucked dick.
Yeah.
There's some fucking banger movies that are coming out that I want to go see. Banger movies. You got Long Legs coming out. You got fucking the new Quiet Place movie coming out. You got
Oh
fucking
yeah.
um you have the Garfield movie.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I don't know why. I actually wanted to see that. I
We're
love those
going to
movies.
see the Garfield movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I switched up my sleeping routine. I'm switching it up. So later, I'm up later now.
Getting ready for we're we're
I,
we're we're technically in summertime now, yeah.
I had to adjust with the playoffs coming, so we're good. I'm not going to bed at 5 anymore.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad. So now we can go see movies again.
I love spending $17 for a ticket
Nick
for
in
a
the
seat
off
that
season to get a seat that's fucking recliner only works 32% of the time.
yeah, no heat warmer.
Yeah, $17 tickets. Like, fucking hell, man.
Yeah,
Oh, Jesus. Anyways, um, fights. So our summer of fighting, which was originally slated as
UFC, but not anymore.
what was the last UFC pay-per-view before this? Before 303?
June, June 1st, June 2nd, 302 with Islam.
Oh, we were kicking off with Islam and Dustin. We had McGregor versus Chandler coming up. We had fucking
We also had Kamzat versus Whitaker.
yep, Kamzat and Whitaker. We had fucking um Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Um in August we're it looks like we're gonna have or July we have Leon Edwards. In August we have
Izzy.
Izzy. So we got a lot of really, really great fights. Then Whitaker and Chimaev got canceled. McGregor got canceled. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul got canceled. Fucking and we haven't gotten to any of the other ones yet, but I'm sure some of them are going to be canceled.
Bilal won't. He knows this is his only chance.
That's his only chance to get a fucking title shot. He might win it. Anyways, um, so July 20th. We haven't seen Jake Paul fight in a pretty decent amount of time. He last fought Ryan Borland, I believe in February.
Yeah,
It hasn't been that long, but
no.
you know, January or February. When you look at it like that, and then it was going to be July, you're like, I mean, that's 6-ish months. And then it was November, and it's like, fucking hell, Jake's fighting 10 months apart. Um, Especially whenever you account for the fact that the Ryan Borland fight, Ryan Borland is my Domino's driver.
In the fight before that, the guy didn't even swing.
Yeah, that guy, he's a St. Louis Pizza Wings driver. Uh, they're competitors. Um, so we were very excited. Like having McGregor, that's a big fight. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, that's a big fight. Big name, like regardless of what we think is going to happen in those fights, especially the Mike Tyson Jake ones, on paper, it's a big fight. It's
Yeah, so
interesting. It piques my interest. But then it got canceled, and you're like, fuck, now we don't have that big fight anymore. And that sucks. But we were getting reports a few days ago that Jake Paul versus Mike Perry was being worked on. The guy who broke that story was Happy Punch, I believe. Happy Punch has been wrong in the past. They're normally very reliable, but unless Ariel said it, I didn't want to,
yeah,
make any comments about it. And then Ariel ended up saying it, was saying like, yeah, I think they've been talking, but it's been a pretty crazy week, so I'm not gonna like jump on anything quite yet. And then it was officially announced today. Jake Paul versus Mike Perry will officially take place the same day as Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, July 20th. And I believe this fight, instead of being in Dallas, Texas, and on Netflix, because Netflix is holding out for Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul in November, this is going to be back on DAZN and is going to be in Tampa, Florida. I believe that's the truth. I think I read those in Tampa, Florida, but I do know for a fact that this fight is going to be on DAZN pay-per-view. Jake Paul, Mike Perry. Now,
it's a better fight in my opinion.
oh my God, from a competition level, it's not even close.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
Um, easy. We're gonna make a lot of the elders angry with that one.
I'm not
Um,
going to that. We've talked about that topic too much.
we're not doing that again. So, okay, so Mike Perry, if you're not a combat sports fan, um, I don't feel like a lot of people know who Mike Perry is if you're not a combat sports fan. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, but if you are, then you know who he is.
Yes, like Mike Perry versus Jake Paul is a fight that they've been trying to get under wraps, and have been working on for a very, very long time. Um, and it for whatever reason it just never came through because regardless of Mike Perry's name in the combat sports space, it's mainly because of the fact that he fights it for a promotion that not a lot of people know. Everybody knows what bare knuckle fighting is, but nobody knows that bare knuckle FC is an actual promotion. Unfortunately, it just that just is what it is. If you know what wrestling is, but you don't really watch wrestling, you will always know WWE more than you know what AEW is.
Yeah,
That's a fact. If you're a combat sports fan, you're always going to know what the UFC is above bare knuckle FC, even though they're not technically the same sport, but they're combat sports. And boxing isn't uh, a promotion really. DAZN is trying to become that promotion, but
yeah.
it's more reliant on names. Um, so Mike Perry is a name that I feel like you have to be a pretty good fight fan to know about. Um, but regardless, I don't think he's going to have a significant draw. Um,
No,
Jake Paul's name is the draw in this fight. So Jake, I don't think that this fight never got made because it was a skill thing. Maybe back a few years ago, Jake wasn't going to take this fight because it was a skill thing. For the last couple years, I don't think that's the case. I think that this fight never got made because there was always bigger fights out there. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, Jake Paul. Well, maybe Jake Paul versus Mike Perry was bigger. I don't know. Um, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, Jake Paul versus this, that, and the third.
yeah, those are all bigger.
Um, so now Jake Paul versus Mike
Oh,
Perry is a thing. Um, do you want me to talk to that person who you're talking to?
no, we're good. I took care of it.
Now, if this camera thing is working the way I want it to, the audience wouldn't be able to see you just mute yourself and then talk to somebody out in the background because I'm talking and was only pointing at my face. But if you
So
didn't,
you're the problem.
yeah, so Nick went up like this. He did one of these numbers. He clicked and completely ruined the flow of this podcast. And I just want to say it's incredibly unprofessional. And I can't believe you would do something like that. And I don't know if that was your mom or your dad or your cat or your fucking dog or Jesus himself, but
I I want to mute it to yell at the cat.
that's fair.
I
Um,
just throw.
just throw a pillow.
I would.
That's fair. Um, okay, so I need to watch more footage on Mike Perry. I've watched a few of his fights, but I haven't watched all of his fights.
Yeah, I really haven't watched him at all. But
Mike Perry is probably the face of bare knuckle FC. I think
oh,
that's
he easily.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Whenever you look at bare knuckle FC and you think of like all the big guys, they push a lot of Mike Perry. They did Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez. Mike Perry versus Venom Michael Page was a thing. That or Michael Venom Page was a thing. That was a crazy fight. They
Did
also
he
did
win?
I think Mike Perry won that fight.
If it's bare knuckle, that dude knows how to do it.
I can't remember
He
exactly
fought
right, but it
he
was a
fought Luke Rockhold too, or whatever that guy's name
yes.
is.
Yeah. So a lot of the big names who are like retiring from the UFC going over to bare knuckle fighting, the bare knuckle fighting promotion makes the big fights with those names, usually with Mike Perry,
Yeah.
which is fair. It's a smart business tactic. Um, the last big fight we know Mike Perry fought in, he's probably fought since then. The last like really big one was him fighting Eddie Alvarez, which is a great fight, and I believe that he won.
Yeah, I think he's kicked all their asses, but it's bare knuckle.
Yes.
Is that when he faced off against McGregor in the cage?
When
When he fought Eddie? Because he faced off against McGregor after a fight, right? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Mike Perry?
Yeah.
No, no, this happened like a year ago, maybe. Probably not even that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fought Eddie Alvarez in April. Just kidding. Wasn't even a fucking year ago. Eddie's been in bare knuckle fighting. So since being in bare knuckle fighting, he's been there since 2022. He fought Julian Lane. He won. I wonder if I can see the. I don't want to watch the fight. He
Yeah, those
won.
fights are nasty.
Yeah. Um, I know he did, I don't think I know he didn't knock out Michael Page, but he did beat Michael Page because and I watched his fight. It was a crazy concept. So they did the whole fight. It went to the decision. It was a split decision. They went to overtime. One round decider.
I kind
That's
of like that.
ass. That's pretty cool. And I think he ended up beating him on that cause. He fought Luke Rockhold, he fought Eddie Alvarez, and then he fought Thiago Alves. Um, Now I can't see how he won these fights because that will dictate his power punching. Um, he's 14-8 in the UFC, so he is a former UFC fighter as well. If people didn't know that, which
Yeah.
should know that, I guess. Um, Full record. I want to see if I can like get a full overview because it cuts him off from fucking his UFC one to his, you know. Um, he got knocked out in 2019. Lost a lot of decisions in the UFC. Um, he won. That'd be great if you fucking told me the way he won, you dickhead. I don't. So the good news is, well, not good news. The news that I'm thinking. Oh, here you go. Yeah, Michael Page went overtime. Oh, I see it now. I see it now. Okay, so let me go over this. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. So, um, in 2020 at UFC 255, he lost a unanimous decision. Um, in April of 2021, he lost a unanimous decision. And I believe he was supposed to fight in the UFC one more time before not fighting in the UFC again. Or no, he fought Michael Seals and he won by split decision. This is a Triad Combat One, so this is a different promotion. I don't know if that is boxing or I don't know if that's whatever it is. Julian Lane, he at Bare Knuckle Mania 2, he won by unanimous decision. Michael Page, he won by decision. Luke Rockhold, he broke Luke's teeth. And the guy, Luke Rockhold, stopped fighting because his teeth were broken. Eddie Alvarez, he won via corner. He won via corner stoppage, so maybe like a cut eye or bleeding or
Yeah.
whatever. I can't remember. And then he won by knockout, I believe, against Diego Alves. The last time he fought was April of this year. It's not that far off, is it? But it was a round one win. I believe it just said won by punches, so I'm assuming that means knockout.
Yeah,
Um,
or throw in the towel.
yeah. So whenever you look at the last couple fights that he's had since 20, I can't remember how far back I went, 3 or 4 years. He doesn't really get knocked out a lot. And he doesn't really knock a lot of people out a lot.
He's a brawler.
He goes in there and he scraps. Um, and even though that bare knuckle FC is the same as it's boxing, it's not exactly boxing.
No.
There is the same way as like boxing and UFC is not the same as boxing in the
No, I know what you're saying. It's also different though. It's like the impact of the gloves when they hit you.
yes.
I think it's easier to knock someone out in boxing. If I know it may sound dumb, but like I've seen it, it's like almost easier to knock them out in boxing. Just
There's more surface impact.
yeah.
However, to in a counter, you don't have to hit somebody as hard in bare knuckle FC to knock
No.
somebody out if you landed on the chin, and you can cut somebody a lot worse. Regardless of that, I think you have to be a tough motherfucker to be fighting in bare knuckle FC.
Oh,
I will
yeah.
never ever take that away from Mike Perry. Um, I don't know. I can't remember if they said that this was going to be 8 rounds or 10 rounds. I think they said eight threes, if I'm correct. I could be wrong about that. I don't think gas tank is going to necessarily be a problem for him. Um, because like whenever you fight as many decisions as he does in a brutal manner, getting punched, it has to hurt more.
Yeah.
You're getting stung so many more times. I mean, this guy's fucking just balls of steel.
All you
Uh,
got to do is look at images of him before the fight and then after the fight, and you'll
yeah,
realize.
that guy's going to try and kill Jake, and he's willing to die before he loses. He weighs 185 pounds. He fights at about 185. He is 5'10". So I don't know the weight of this fight. Maybe I can find it. That would be very helpful. Um,
Yeah, I wonder what the weight will be.
this is very important, actually.
I feel like I feel like it can't be below like 190 because Jake Paul was huge.
Yeah, but it wasn't all muscle.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. That's easier to lose.
Yeah. Now Jake Paul and Mike Perry have fought in the past. They've sparred together.
Like
Um,
sparring's different.
Cruiserweight boxing match set for July 20th in Tampa, 8 rounds. So cruiserweight weight, I believe that's about 190. I think maybe it's 200 in boxing. 200 pounds.
Oh well, if it's at 200, I got Jake Paul. 'Cause it's
I
bigger.
gotta be honest, I had Jake Paul winning
Mm,
regardless.
yeah, but like if it was at like 185, Mike Perry. I was gonna give a chance.
I don't. Okay, so I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's very entertaining. Um,
Yeah,
8 threes. I think bare knuckles 5 threes, if I'm right. But he fought in the UFC at 5'5", so I don't think, or if he was ever in the main event or ever fought 5'5s, I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. Um, I still don't think gas tank. Maybe might be a little bit of an issue at a little heavier. Um, but I don't think it's
Yeah,
like a night and day for him. Because his output is he throws a crazy amount of punches
he
anyway.
does. Yeah,
Where I think the problems for him are going to lie are that he's going to be fighting at a weight he's not necessarily used to. 15 pounds isn't that much, but it's
it is
still,
in boxing.
yeah, it's still going to be a significant thing. Um, Jake is naturally bigger than him. He's about 3 or 4 inches taller. He's going to have a
Yeah,
longer reach than Mike Perry will. And on top of that, the most important thing to me and why I think Jake is going to end up winning this fight is that while Mike Perry like hypothetically can win if he outputs Jake, throws at a higher output than Jake, which is a hard bet in itself because Mike Perry is going to be fighting at a heavier weight. He might gas out a little sooner. This is just kind of, I'm talking about hypotheticals here. Um, the reason why I don't think that Mike Perry is going to win is that Jake throws at a high output too when he needs to. Just look at the Anderson Silva fight. Grant, he did that at 185 too, so or 190. So maybe it'll be a little harder for him. Um, but the most important thing is Mike Perry has not been able to knock out a majority of his opponents. If any of his opponents in bare knuckle FC, I don't see him being able to knock out Jake Paul whenever you're putting 12
no.
gloves on him and he's going to be fighting Jake, who's naturally bigger than him. It's just not going to happen. Can Mike Perry win this fight by decision? Yes. Has he been hit by somebody who hits as hard as Jake Paul? Probably not.
Also, has he done like a actual boxing match?
Not to my knowledge. Maybe it's
So
some
he's
promotion
so
years ago.
that's also going to go against them.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that Mike Perry has more of a chance than any of the UFC fighters put in front of him who have
Oh
fought.
yeah,
Um,
but we know our stance on that.
Yeah, maybe not Anderson Silva because Anderson had boxing matches in the past against notable opponents,
And he's bigger too. Yeah, I guess you're right.
but the weight and the age and the output that Jake threw at him was impactful to that fight. It won him the fight. I mean,
How old is Mike Perry? I feel like he's high 30s.
yeah, it's got to be late 30s. Let me double check.
I'd
Uh,
put money on like 38.
he's only 32.
Well, you know, good thing I didn't actually put money on it.
He's born in September of 1991.
Hmm.
The last time he weighed in was 170 against Thiago Alves by the looks of it. Oh no, it says 185 here. So this fucking website lied to me. Mike
Are you on
weighed
Wikipedia? Are you on Wikipedia?
I'm on Tapology. It's very hard because normally you would go to BoxRec, but it will separate his ESPN fights and ESPN won't
Yeah.
see it with his and they won't cover his bare knuckle fights. Um okay, so Mike can hypothetically win if he manages to throw more of an output than Jake Paul and survive getting knocked out. So
Yeah.
it's hypotheticals. He just has to not gas out, not get punched, and um throw a lot of punches at a weight he's not used to. There's a lot of variables going against him, but it's a Jake Paul fight. Of course, he's going to do that against his opponent. Why wouldn't he?
He's not going to fight someone younger,
Yeah.
taller.
Now, skill for skill, it's not even close.
Who do you
Even
think's better?
I think Mike Perry's more of a technical fighter, better than Jake.
Oh, I've never watched Mike Perry, so I shouldn't say anything.
When it comes to even though like boxing, now one thing I don't like about Mike Perry's chances, his head movement is really bad. He gets hit a lot, which is why when I think he gets hit by somebody probably
Jake
who hits a lot harder than Eddie Alvarez
in a full glove.
and
We'll
a
have to
lot
see.
bigger and is cutting from fucking 230 to
The
200.
thing, the thing I'm excited about him is he won't run in the ring. He's not going to go in
No,
there.
yeah,
He's
no,
not going to go in there and just jab and then run away. Like,
yeah, no, this is going to be a dogfight. But the reason why I think that he's a better technical fighter is that even though I mean maybe I gotta think about it a little more, but like I think he understands the jab and the guard and the
Yeah,
cross and the shot selections a little better because he has to be a little more careful inside the bare knuckle fighting ring. And I think that will translate well for him in the squared circle. Um, However, I think that his fighting style is scrap and
I think that's gonna get him in trouble.
yeah, I think the lack of head movement and the idea that he's gonna just kind of fight Jake and he's not gonna be able to knock him out. And he's gonna have to punch. He's gonna have to hit him. Like his only chance is to win by decision. That's it.
Yeah,
There's no other way of winning. He's never going to knock him out. And I think with his lack of head movement, not being used to fighting somebody as big as Jake with a lot longer reach. Now I don't know the exact. You have to imagine the reach is bigger and the height is bigger. Um, and Jake is going to use that jab and plant it on his face. Jake will
yeah,
get caught. I just don't think it will bother him
yeah,
to a level of getting rocked. I'm excited about it.
yeah. I am too. Like I said, it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, and to some extent you have to say like, oh, okay, cool, Jake. You are actually going to fight in July. That's really good, and I am very grateful that he because it gives us something to talk about. However, then you start looking at it like you've been in camp this whole time.
And like 4 weeks is not that long.
Yeah, you're making Mike come up to 200.
Yeah,
But the names on this excites me. And the idea of
yeah.
it excites me similar to how Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul excites me.
Like I said, I think this is a way closer fight than the other one, than Mike
I think
Tyson.
it is. I think it is too. I mean, it's kind of opposite, right? Mike's
Not as
Mike
big as a name,
Mike
better
Perry.
fight though.
Yeah, Mike Perry's whole chance to winning is to throwing a lot of output, and Mike Tyson's whole chance of winning is to not or to try and knock out Jake. He'll never throw out more output.
Well, we got Jake versus Mike. That's all.
That's all we
That's all
got.
they should.
Jake
That's
was
all they should. They should not. They should not put a picture of who Jake's fighting. It's like Jake versus Mike, and people are like, oh, he's still fighting Tyson. It's
yeah,
like, who's this Mike Perry guy?
just fucking
Mike.
Jake was determined to fight a guy named Mike in July.
Yeah.
It would have been anyone. He fucking it would have been fucking Jake Paul versus Michael Jordan if Mike Perry would have.
Get in here, Michael Chandler. I heard you need a fight.
God, that'd be sick, wouldn't it? Fucking Jake Paul versus Michael Venom Page. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyways, we need to wrap this up because I need to go take a shit.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Forever Talking, where we talk nothing forever. My name is Ian Moore with my commentating partner and co-host Nicholas. And God damn it, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, we will.
Peace, love, adios, goodbye.